How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to be going over a solution for rusted brake lines on these older Honda and Acura vehicles. So I have here an '01 Accord with about 130,000 miles. So obviously the mileage is kind of low for this year vehicle, although the car is still old and we are in a state where it snows, so salting and brining is a thing. So if you are one of these states and you have one of these vehicles, then at some point you will probably be faced with this situation. So we do have these kits here from eBay, and I've used them a couple different times on a couple different applications, all different Hondas and Acuras that are older. So the issue is a lot of times these brake lines going from the proportioning valve right in here to the back calipers are discontinued already, which is exactly what happened here. So we had to find another solution, and this is it. I will have a link to these kits in the description below if you're interested. And this is a solid solution that I've used, once again, a couple of different times. And of course, we ran it by the customer and they were just happy that there was a fix versus, possibly just repairing the lines, which isn't a fix in my opinion. And it's kind of not long-term solution. So these hold up great. I've installed them a few years back, and every time I see the car, they are still in a great working condition. They don't always come in the blue finish like you see here, but for this vehicle, this is what they had, so this is what we went with. And again, the customer isn't concerned with that as long as the brakes are functioning on the vehicle. So it's not going to be a full install video. I'm just going to remove the old brake lines and install these and just kind of show the differences and where the rust issues are. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and lift up the vehicle now and just show you where the rust is on this vehicle. And afterwards, I'll replace the lines and go over from the front to the back, kind of how you should route them, etc. All right, so here we are underneath the car, and the lines are going to go from the proportioning valve, which are right in there. And these are hard lines. This is flexible, so this is going to make it super easy to work with, which is nice. But you can see the rust right in here, and you can see the fuel line is also starting to rust. But the customer just is focused on the brake lines for now. So we did mention it to her, but she opted out of that, and she just wants to get the car back on the road. So here we are. So I'm going to remove this casing right over here, remove the brake lines. You could cut them with a small pipe cutter and just do whatever you need to do to get them out of the way. It also comes with these back hoses over here, so I'm going to replace those as well for the customer. And once again, this is flexible and very easy to work with, which is nice. And it only is for the lines coming to the back. As the front ones, we really don't see rusting. So these obviously get exposed to a lot more road salt, etc. So we're going to be replacing these. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this vehicle. And then once it's all completed, I will show you kind of what I did and just go over some things, some notes and stuff. I will also say that you might have an issue once it comes to bleeding the system. Sometimes these bleeders are seized, so just be aware that you may run into that situation, which may happen to us too. And if it does, obviously I'll point it out. And you may need some caliper replacements if needed. So front and rear, because this car went completely low on brake fluid, and we'll need to get bled all four corners. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and once I'm done, we'll go over some things. All right, so we have this plastic protective holder and casing removed already. As you can see, the lines are very compromised, not just brake lines, but the fuel and evaporative system lines. We've went over this with the customer. Again, we showed them the customer wants to proceed. It is what it is at this point, but as long as they're aware and they're gonna sign all sorts of documentation, then we're covered, and as long as everybody's on the same page. But I would definitely look into getting something to repair these lines as well, or OEM replacements if available. So we're going to continue with these brake line replacements for now and proceed from there. All right, so I'm in the process of installing the lines here. As you can see, I was trying to make it to where the stock holder here holds the line in place. Unfortunately, that leaves me with no room here to stretch it out to here, or at least tie it here to the e-brake cable, which I really don't want it resting on the shield here. So I'm going to take this out, reroute it possibly. Hopefully it gives me enough length to make this a little bit better here. This is the thing with aftermarket stuff. Sometimes it's not exact fit, like in this case. So just something for you to be mindful of. And I'm going to try it rerouting it the other way and see if it comes out better. All right, so we're in the process of installing these. So I'm going to break these tabs off in there just so the line can fit in there easier. This is a thicker line, so it needs a little bit more room, and just to kind of hold it in place. As you can see here, I did this one already, so it's tucked away in there. And I'm gonna put the bracket back in there and run these all the way up. So still have this one to run, and this one kind of try to put as many tabs and holders as possible. All right, so here we have the final look. So unfortunately, I wanted to hook it up to the original hanger over here, but it didn't work out. It was way too short, so I had to go this way. I'm gonna be applying felt tape here just to try to eliminate any chafing possible at any point it's contacting. This stuff is aftermarket. It's not gonna fit 100%. And you should definitely do your due diligence if you install one of these kits, and every time you do an oil change, for instance, I have the car up on a rack, make sure there is no serious chafing going on. I also did have to drop the subframe to get the OEM brackets out over here. You could decide to cut around it, that's fine, that works too, but I was trying to use all the OEM points as much as possible. So here I'm gonna zip tie this here. Unfortunately won't reach this holder right over here. I am gonna order a new one for here, and that will sit there pretty nicely. This one sits in here pretty good as well, and as you can see, I have them installed inside the protective case already, so all the way going up to the top. I'm going to show you from the top real quick as well. Just wanted to get an overall look from here, and here same thing as well. I'm going to apply some felt tape right in here just to avoid, this is a soft corner, but just to avoid any chafing as much as possible. So here we have a look from the top, and this is what the lines are going to look like. And again, you don't want any tension on them as much as possible. And I'm going to apply some felt tape right over there to the booster just to avoid any chafing, even though again it is a soft corner. And I'm just going to tighten these up, and we're good to go. I already cracked my calipers open. All the bleeders are working condition, but any car with this kind of mileage and age obviously is a concern, and something you have to keep on your mind that you might have to change as well. If you can't bleed that caliper, then obviously you're going to have air in the system. So hopefully this video helps somebody out there. Remember, this is aftermarket, and you have to keep an open mind that it won't fit 100%, but it is better than obviously any type of band-aid, including sometimes those union fittings that I don't like at all. And at the point that these lines are in, there's really no clean spot to do that anyway, so that wouldn't really be an option. So with that being said, hopefully this video was helpful to somebody out there, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.